The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency.
Win the incredible Steigercraft, Evinrude, Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package, and more in the Fisherman's 2018 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details at thefisherman.com. Despite temperatures running above normal in recent weeks, it's safe to say fall fishing is slipping into high gear for many inshore species as well as sharks on the offshore scene. Porgies and sea bass with a smattering of other species are making for some great mixed bag action on reefs and rocky bottom areas all around the island. Diamond jigging for stripers on the east end is being fueled by a healthy supply of big sand eels, and those same baitfish have spread west along the surf line, providing the surfcasting crowd with an increasing number of chances at beaching a decent-sized striper from among the many small fish. False albacore are generating lots of excitement from Montauk to Breezy Point and Orient Point to Eatons Neck. Boatmen certainly have the edge with some individual catches of 24 or more of these speedsters, but surfcasters also have been in the action in places like Shinnecock Inlet, Montauk's harbor entrance, and some North Fork beaches. Currently, it's looking like we may be dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Michael by Friday, so be sure to check the marine forecast when planning your fishing this weekend. One thing is for certain, that it will feel a lot cooler and more like fall this weekend, with nighttime temps dropping into the 40s in some parts of the region. That's good news for blackfish fans who could use a drop in water temperatures to fire up the tog bite. Blackfish season opens today, October 11th, in the Long Island Sound, and October 15th around the rest of the island. The October issue of the Fisherman Magazine is out now. Captain John Raguzzo has a great article about hitting the right wrecks for sea bass. New England editor Toby Lipinski has an informative article on the advanced technique of reverse surf casting. And for you guys that are looking to troll mojos, Captain Scott Newhall has a great article about what makes this effective lure work. These are just a few of the great articles in the October issue of the Fisherman Magazine. For you anglers that keep your boat in Montauk and fish for stripers around Block Island, you may be aware of the EEZ restrictions. New England editor Toby Lipinski has the latest on a new proposal that may benefit those targeting striped bass around the Block Island area.
Thank you very much, Tim. Yeah, so there is some really big fishing news on the striped bass front this week. It comes in the form of a proposal, which is before NOAA Fisheries to open up part of the EEZ to the possession and targeting of Atlantic striped bass. And this is only for a small area known as the Block Island Transit Zone, which lies between Block Island and the mainland of Rhode Island to the north, and between Block Island and Montauk Point to the southwest. This is not opening all of the EEZ up, as some have noted. And in case you're not aware, it is illegal to possess and target striped bass in federal waters, which are the waters located outside 3 miles from shore. When this designation was put in place in 1984 by the passing of the Atlantic Striped Bass Conservation Act, it created these islands of legal fishing waters surrounded by those in which it is illegal to target striped bass, most notably of which the waters around Block Island fell into this classification. Fortunately, though, after that it was made legal to transport striped bass through the area, so long as one wasn't to stop along the way and the fish were landed inside the 3 mile line. Well, this obviously has become a point of contention for many anglers who fish these waters, and several attempts have been made over the years to make fishing here legal. Now, without getting too much further into the nuts and bolts of what is going on, both the proposal as well as the details on the public comment period, which runs through November 19th, 2018, this fall, you can check out the complete news story posted at thefisherman.com. And as always, stay tuned here to thefisherman.com for additional news on this subject as it is made public.
Speaking of Montauk, let's check in with Tom Michalowski of Grand Slam Charters.
Thanks, Tim. Out of Montauk today, I'm getting ready to go out on a night trip with some live eels for stripers. That's been very good the last couple of days. Some big fish into the 40s being caught. There's still some albies around, not as crazy it was. Now you got to really concentrate if you want to catch them. Not too many bluefish this week. There's still some nice big porgies around the lighthouse, and if you want some sea bass, you'll get them there also. But if you really want to concentrate on the big sea bass, you're going to have to go a little to the east towards Block. Other than that, you know, as long as the water temperatures continue to fall, things are looking pretty good out here in Montauk.
Let's go to Shinnecock and check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Tim. Much of the same going on in Shinnecock this week. A lot of nice little stripers coming out of the surf, bucktails and teasers. Actually just picked up Really excited to use these things this weekend. Look at these guys. That's from DAC Flies, DAC Flies on Instagram. Also a couple bonito were mixed in the inlet I heard today. Kind of a little jealous. The sound guys getting a shot at those tog starting tomorrow. We have to wait until next week for our season, but I think those will be around. Heard from some spear fishermen that they've definitely seen them down there mixed in with the triggerfish and porgies in the inlet at least. So we'll see what happens after this big blow. Definitely a cooling trend with the waters. Should get those big stripers moving down the beach. So looking forward to that. Have fun this weekend. Catch them up.
Let's go to Cathy Bait and Tackle and Fuel and check in with Brendan.
Thanks, Tim. Plenty of action this week with the albies, shad, blowfish, and bluefish offshore, as well as the striped bass coming into Fire Island Inlet. We actually had a couple of decent reports, over 40 pounds, a few fish. Here's a picture of my friend Johnny Bagels with a fish over 40 pounds. He's about 6.5 foot tall, so you know it's big. The South Shore Classic is this weekend. The shop's open Friday 6 a.m. until Sunday 7 p.m. We're open 24 hours, so if you need us, we're here. We're doing a couple of deals, tactical anglers, buy one, get one, and a few other deals like pre-order bunker, 20 for 20. Can't beat that, So yeah, guys, this is going to be an awesome weekend with the storm coming. Hopefully we get some south winds and push some bait on the beach. Clams are probably going to be our best bet, if not bunker. Honestly, the bunker's been working really well, and so beach is going to be on fire this weekend, hopefully, and the boats have been doing okay with the clam chumming and jigging, so this should be the weekend, guys. So get out there and have fun. See you out there.
Now let's check in with Joey Leggio from Oceanside.
Thank you, Tim. This week, honestly, it was all about the bay. Great time. I had out Ari and his children, Gabriella and Dove. They had a blast. Took them down to the bridge, clam chumming, and they had 35 fish, the kids and their dad. And it was so much fun. I mean, lots and lots of action. No keepers whatsoever out of the 35 fish. The biggest one we had came in at 26 inches. But again, the action is great, especially for the kids. Very easy, anchor up, and work those baits back. One of the things I did notice, though, like a lot of guys are casting out clams, locking up their reel and just leaving it there. That's not the way you want to clam chum the bridge at all. I actually have a whole video on my YouTube page. You can check it out at chasingtailtv.com, how to actually work these baits and how to be successful at clam chumming. So what we were doing basically is set up our chum on the bottom, and I had them working the baits back and constantly getting hits. There was a lot of misses too, because again, these fish are small. They're not big, but it's action, it's fun, the rods are bending. There was some bluefish in the mix, but that's what's happening over at the bridge. Out of Deb's Inlet, I really haven't heard much of anything. I personally have not gotten out, but I'm trying to get out there, but we'll see what happens with the opening of the blackfish season. On the inside, down by the back bays and stuff, there are still plenty of bass to be had, casting little storm lures, little yozori lures, bucktails, even those little rubber shads. The Kitex are excellent. Any of those lures are working really good in the back there. So just look around. Also, there's some weak fish. Doesn't hurt to throw the net, get some of those peanut bunkers, fish all those deep holes, throw some of those peanuts down there. If you get some snappers, or again, work those rubber lures. The storm shads I've caught weak fish on too. Try those out and see how that goes. The life is there. Other than that, that's my report.
News 12 meteorologist Rich Van Olen informed me there was decent schoolie action on top water plugs along the marshes in Reynolds Channel, with outgoing tide being much better than the incoming. He also noted that there was plenty of bait around. He also shared this photo of Billy B with a huge bait trigger caught near Reynolds Channel around the Long Beach area earlier this week. Let's go to Jamaica Bay and check in with Luke Feeney.
The albies have moved in really solid, both off the jetty, in the middle of Ambrose Channel, near the head of the channel, on the Jersey side, and off at Norton's Point. You can see them. They're not as mixed in with the small bluefish now. You could isolate them. The pods, they are very tight with the albies, and they jump a lot different than the bluefish. Instead of little splashes like the bluefish, they come up out of the water, darting after that little bait. The albie snacks have been working great, little soft plastics, and the tins have been working great also. Deadly dicks and epoxy jigs, whatever you're throwing out there that's nice and small, reeling it really fast, they seem to be hitting it. My dad went out today with his friends, and they got a big thresher, 350 pounds, and a nice mako too at about 160 pounds. They were fishing off Jersey, and this time of year is usually a great time for big sharks, so get out there and give it a try. The bass have been biting on the chunks at the Marine Park Bridge, Either stanchion is fine. I don't like the main stanchions too much because you get rocked by those ferries going by. So try either stanchion, either closer to the Brooklyn side or closer to the Rockaway side. Fish a nice bunker chunk, and they're catching some pretty nice bass now, and that should get better as the fall progresses. The blackfish are also moving in. They're moving those porgies out of the way. All those your favorite pieces of bottom should become really good up when the opening comes, and further into the season as the blackfish season progresses. Those pieces of bottom should get really good very soon, and some people are catching blackfish even now. And the weak fish bite is really solid, both by the Verrazano Bridge and in Jamaica Bay, both on live peanut bunker, Kytex on jig heads, and any other soft plastics or hard plastics that you can get down on the bottom. Jig those weak fish, they're biting pretty good. That's it for this week. Make sure you get out there, take advantage of this nice bite. The fall run is just starting and the fishing is great. That's it for this week. Until the next time, tight lines.
From Staten Island, we got Mike Manuel.
Hey Tim, hey fishermen, hope all is well. I gotta say, bonito action, porky action, sea bass, blackfish, snapper blues, everything is blowing up in the bay along the Staten Island side towards out the Ambrose Channel. Last week and this week, the false albacore action was phenomenal. Limited out easily, 5-6 per person, can't complain. Times like this is when you want to get out there. So get out there guys, now's the time. Probably want to wait after this storm passes tomorrow, Thursday. Hopefully the weekend will be a little bit cooler and hopefully the waters won't be so rough. But if not, just wait out for the midweek and it should pick up. Anyway, thanks Tim, and adios.
From the Manhasset Bay Area, we got Aaron Diaversa.
Hey guys, Hampstead Harbor is filled with fish for the fall run. There are blackfish which are coming in, but the season has not opened yet. The 11th is the opening season, so don't harvest blackfish till the season's open. Blues, porgy season is coming to an end, and the porgies are everywhere. And stripers. Stripers seem to be falling for bunker chunks and bloodworms. But use a big hook, because otherwise you'll get tons of porgies and sand sharks. Morgan's Park, Tappan Beach, Prybles are very good spots for bunker chunking at night for schoolies. Remember, 28 inches is the rule. Do not underharvest stripers.
Let's check in with Peter Tarnowski from the Eatons Neck area.
Thanks, Tim. It's been a little bit boring here in the Eatons Neck area. There's definitely been a lot of birds around and a lot of cocktail blues, but still just cocktail blues, not seeing anything of any size. There's been some good sea bass and jumbo porgy fishing out here in the Eatons Neck Triangle area, but that's about it. Nothing else exciting yet. No big striped bass out here yet that I'm seeing. Maybe here or there, but nothing consistent. And keep hearing reports of albies nearby, but haven't seen any myself. I'm going to head down towards Sunken Meadow area, which I heard somebody was hitting on them yesterday, and see if I find anything there. Back to you, Tim.
Now let's check in with Mark McGowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle in Northport.
Hi Tim, we're out hunting right now. We're chasing false albacore, small bluefish with a focus on false albacore. This week's fishing is really picking up. It's nice. In the back bays, there's been small bluefish chasing peanut bunker along the shoreline, along with large spearing. Also in the mix is some schoolie bass. Haven't seen too many large fish come up yet, but there's a lot of action. Jumbo porgies are still in the area. Sea bassing can be tough at times. There's a lot of them, but not many keepers. The bait situation right now is fantastic. We're dealing with rain baits, Achilles, large spearing, small spearing, peanut bunker, juvenile bunker, adult bunker, you name it. I mean, we've got a lot of different baits. And these false albacore and 4-pound bluefish really seem to be trying to corral them in. If you're going to go out and try for them, which I recommend, remember to keep your leaders not too heavy. Stay maybe lowest 15 up to 20 pounds. I recommend fluorocarbon. Do direct ties to your lures. Again, the lure, that hoagie thing, and the Deadly Dick, along with that Castmaster XL in the smaller one, have been fantastic. I really recommend using them. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at the shop. Either myself or Phil are always around, or one of the guys would be happy to answer your questions. And weather permitting, we're going to be going out trying to find some blackfish and keep up this false albacore run. I think right now we've got temperatures somewhere, what do we got here? It's saying 72, which is still somewhat warm. We'd like to get down in 68 would be nice, mid-60s, to really turn things around. With a lot of bait in the back of the harbors and sitting out in the fronts here on Huntington Bay, Eatons Neck, all the way down to Crane's Neck. Action is really just getting better and better. Just, you got to poke around. Don't be afraid to get out of your area that you feel safe with. And I mean safe in terms of understanding where you fish. Realm out a little bit. You got to look around, keep your eye out for the birds, and have a safe, good time. This is Captain Mark. Thanks, Tim. Back to you.
Now it's time to go to Hawaiian Dan from the North Shore.
Thanks, Tim. Now, everybody, are you ready to say it with me in 3, 2, 1? Aloha! I'm Hawaiian Dan of TalkFishTV.com, reporting for the Fisherman Magazine, out here in the field, as always, where we're doing our very best to provide you with the latest intel so that we can help put you on the catch. Now, the beginning of the fall changeover is definitely in full effect, and with that comes a ton of baitfish. I mean in various sizes, starting with the grass shrimp and the 1/2 inch to 1 inch size. Then you have the rain bait in the 1 inch to 2 inch size. Then you have the peanut bunker in the 2 inch to 3 inch size. Then you have your average size bunkers in the 8 to 12 inch size. And yes, with all that bait comes plenty of action, non-stop action. The snappers are still in town. The cocktail blues are all over the place, bending rods left and right. Tons of fun. The schoolie stripers have also moved in, and they are great fun as well. Now, the fall season is the same as the spring season, and I recommend going with the topwaters. There's nothing like working that topwater to watch that action, get the heart rate going and the adrenaline pumping. Yes, get out there, get off those couches, grab your rods, get out there and fish. And until next week, this is Hawaiian Dan from TalkFishTV.com, signing out for the fishermen. Aloha!
Let's get to our surf report with senior editor Fred Golofaro.
Hey, thanks, Tim. And yeah, even more encouraging signs this week, better than last week. Starting to hear now of some better bass being mixed in with these small shorts that have dominated the surf fishing scene for not just this year, but for the past couple of years. Heard from Ray out at Paulie's Tackle Shop in Montauk on the weekend. Again, it's mostly these small fish, but now we are starting to see some better fish mixed in. They weighed fish of 30 and 20 pounds over the weekend that came from the sand beach, and it's mostly these sand beaches from Montauk all the way back to Fire Island. It seems better to the east, but as you'll see as I go through these reports, there's still some nice fish further west towards Fire Island. But what's fueling all this too is sand eels. There's sand eels along a lot of these stretches of beach, in some areas as big as 8-9 inches. And that's probably the trigger for some of these better fish mixing with the shorts. But as I said, Paulie's had 30 to 20 pounder. He knew of other fish, another 30 pounder that was caught and released on the weekend on the sand beach. Ken over at Tight Lines, he had Lou Gigiani for a 30 pounder on the weekend, and he knew a fish to 40 inches at Indian Wells. And this is the same from everybody I spoke to. Sand eels. A lot of talk about diamond jigs with tubes and diamond jigs with teasers taking these fish. Rich over at Dick's, same thing, a lot of sand eels along fins, shorts, but some fish like 30, 32 inches now mixing in, and a lot of those fish being taken on the teasers, and also some with A17s on tubes. Craig at Smith Point, again, mostly small fish, but some decent fish. He had fish of 23 and 20 pounds checked into the shop over the weekend, taken on jigs and tubes, diamond jigs and tubes. He said some of the better fishing was in west of the west jetty of Moriches, and then again down along fins. Andrea at J&J, same story. Green tubed A17s when the surf's up, A27s, and again some decent fish mixed in at fins and Smith Point there. Over at Captree Bait and Tackle, John Campitello, he weighed a 40 pounder in during the week. That was taken east of Field 5 near Kismet. And the another aspect to this fishing, now the last few years, October's seen a lot of good fishing on the mainland side of Great South Bay, and that fishing's starting again. There are a lot of fish with birds working over them off Patchogue the end of last week, and I know of fish caught from shore at Heckscher and also in Patchogue. And that whole stretch generally from Heckscher to Belport has potential right from the docks or from any shoreline there. So keep an eye out there. If you don't have a lot of time to spend on the beach and just want to kill an hour or two, you can check out some of these shore spots along there. And a lot of that fishing's light tackle, throwing swim shads. Swim shads have been effective the last couple of years, as well as some other soft baits. Albies, if you like albies, this is your time of the year. This report's coming from all around the island. Probably the most consistent fishing the past week or so has been Shinnecock. I know it's really good there Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. I spoke to several people that were there those days, and they said it was pretty much an all-out blitz. The Montauk harbor entrance and the beaches to both sides of the harbor entrance, and also some of the North Fork beaches getting real good reports of albie action up there. And again, the key with the albies is light fluorocarbon leaders. 15-pound test is really the way to go there. And lastly, we've got the South Shore Classic this weekend, and it looks like it's going to be a good surf fishing weekend. We've got the remnants from Michael coming up, I believe, Friday. They're calling for some of the effects of that, and then it's going to get cool. It's going to finally feel like fall. They're talking about even temperatures going into the 40s at night, so could be a good contest, could really get things going. The entry fee is $15. You can sign up at Capture Bait and Tackle. The contest starts at noon Friday, runs till noon Sunday, but if you can't get away from work, family obligations, and you can't fish till Saturday, you can sign up until 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. Like I said, that's $15. The award ceremony is Sunday at 12:30. Everybody gets, the first 100 people get a goodie bag to attend that. And hope to see you there. I'll be there. And until then, Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.
Fall sharking appears to be the best bet. You don't have to travel far, and the nearshore bunker pods, as well as the 20-fathom line, have all produced well. There are still some big threshers around, like the 352-pounder caught aboard the Susie E2 out of Westlake Marina in Montauk on Sunday, as well as a good number of Makos. A 366-pound Mako was weighed in at Oakland's on the weekend, and the Wego out of Montauk Marine Basin went 3 for 4 on Makos on Sunday. The canyons have been slow, with tilefish and mahi being the most consistent, but it's also time for bluefin tuna to migrate. Find the scallop boats, but be courteous and stay out of their way. Chunking and jigging in the slick of discards from the draggers can be very productive. This Saturday is the Bergen Bay Dock Shark Tournament out of West Babylon with prizes for the largest Mako and Thresher. There's also a Bluefish Calcutta. The captain's meeting is tomorrow at 7:30 at Bergen Bay Docks in West Babylon. You can get more information at bergenbaydocks.com. Upcoming events, October 12th to the 14th is the South Shore Surf Fishing Classic. October 13th is Bergen Bay Docks' first annual Fall Shark Tournament. October 13th through the 14th is the third annual Bergen Bay Docks Striped Bass Tournament. October 19th through the 21st is the Salty Fly Rodders of New York's 51st annual Conclave. And then we have October 20th, New York DEC I Fish New York's Family Fishing Festival at Hempstead Lake State Park. If you'd like to be part of our weekly video fishing forecasts, we are looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact me at libayrat@gmail.com. For links and more information, be sure to check out this video's description on YouTube. Remember, like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be a subscriber to the Fisherman Magazine to be part of the Dreamboat Contest. Get out there, catch 'em up. This is Tim C. Smith for thefisherman.com.